Last week at our stock talk, one of our premium members, Nick, who has access to the stocks that I invest in, recognized that I was not invested in Amazon. And he said, I understand that you want to buy Amazon. What's your buy-in price? And I explained to him that that's available on our website on my cheat sheet. And I do a lot of research, and I show you what it is. But I also recognize Nick didn't want to pay to see it. And so I said, I don't have it in front of me. And I actually was a little offended by it, but I got to thinking about it this weekend, and I wasn't pleased with how I reacted to Nick. So, Nick, my buy-in price for Amazon is $121.73, and it's currently selling for $152.20. So I'm looking for a substantial downturn. What I realized, though, is you may have heard the proverb, that's an old proverb, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, but if you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So what I want to do in this video, Nick, is teach you how I go about determining that the buy-in price, and I'll probably get it for $121.73, how I arrived at that price, and what tools I used to guide me to that price so that you can do this on your own, okay, Nick? And to any of you who want to do the work and access this data, I'm happy to share it with you. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I determine the correct and fair price that you will buy Amazon for is $121.73. Now, I need to also share with you, I reserve the right to change that price as I see conditions change. And I'll go through the conditions with you so you have a clear understanding of how to fish.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Now, let me first explain that I'm a specialist. I basically limit my research and my stock buying, for the most part, 80% of my portfolio, to that of what the market calls information technology. And it takes in about 27 stocks that I follow on a regular basis and I do research for. Now, I also subscribe to a number of services to give me access to the data so that that quite honestly is gathered through artificial intelligence by organizations such as Seeking Alpha, Zacks, Trading Views, Value Investing, and Wise Sheets. And so with those, I subscribe to their services. And truly what they are is AI services that gather information and analyze it and then share their analysis with me so I can analyze it even further and come to what I feel are good investment decisions. To tell you, I spend about $1,550 a year on that to access these services. Okay, so what I want to do is walk you through exactly how I came up with the $121.73 price on Amazon. And to do that, I'll take you to the computer and we'll go through these services. And if you can take your notes and you sign up for them, and you can do this on your own. Okay, this is Seeking Alpha. And this is where I always start because I want to understand the financials of the company. So I'll click on financials. It'll take me to a breakdown. We start with their income statement. And what I want to see is this chart giving me an upward movement, that it is a business whose revenues are growing. I'll then go down and I'll look at its income. And again, I want to see a chart that is growing. And as you can see, Amazon actually had a bad year in 2022 and showed a loss. and I'll research to find out more about what that amounts to. I then go and look at earnings per share, and here again I see in 2022 they had a negative earnings per share. Then that gives me a feeling of where they are now. What I then want to do is get deeper into the earnings, and I want to look at earnings estimates. And here you can see I'm getting a earnings estimates, a growth of basically not much growth at all in 2023, but they're projecting a growth of 29% in earnings per share in 2024 and 35% in 2025. Again, about 30% in 2026. So what that tells me is their price right now is probably reflecting this anticipated growth in earnings of 29%. Now, also, then I want to look at revenues. And as you can see here, they're anticipating revenue growth of about 11% over that same period of time, where it's closer to 30% in earnings. So what that tells me is they're getting better at what they're doing. They're increasing their profit margins. I know they spent a lot of money in 2022 building out their distribution centers, building out and upgrading their computing power. So that gives me a feel for where Amazon is going. The other thing I like to do with Seeking Alpha is look at some of their recent articles. And one that I read just recently is this one here. What it's about is what Amazon's price is going to be in the future. And it takes us through a complete analysis of what their earnings are from the various parts of their business. He goes into great detail of explaining to me that Amazon runs their own business of services. Then they have third-party services. They call it first party. They call it second party and third-party services. And then they have their brick and mortar business, and then they have their Amazon Web Services. And this gives me a very good analysis of what they're going to do in the future. He talks a lot about WACC. What that is a weighted average cost of capital. And what they try to do is figure out what is the price worth based on the cost of generating profits off of the capital that they invest, and then come and figure out what is the actual value. WACC price is 147. That's something that I want to dig into further. To do that, I then go to this website. It's called Value Investing. I spend about $240 a year for this information. And as you can see, it goes into weighted average cost of capital. And what it's coming up with is it's giving various averages to determine what is the actual fair price of this stock. And here you can see it tells me the fair price based on the weighted average and the discounted valuation is $103.60. That's a 30% decrease in what it is worth now. But at the same time, I drop down here and I look at their projected revenues, because again, this price of $103.60 is the value it's worth today based on past activity. But what about future activity? Here I see their profits, and you can see in 2022 they lost, I'm sure that's millions, 2.7 million. But for 2023 they're anticipating a profit of 8.2 million. And then look at 2024, that's going to triple. So I have to factor that in, is what is the actual fair price? Is it really $103 per share? I don't think so. But this is good information for me to look into. Then what I do is I go to my Zacks. And here I have in Zacks, their ranking. Zacks has got Amazon as a 1. What does that mean? Well, Zacks is built around the idea of let's look at what the proposed earnings or the anticipated earnings are going to be of the stock in the future, and what is Amazon's history of exceeding those proposed earnings. And so what Zach is saying, Amazon is a strong buy because historically and based on the data we have, they will exceed what the analysts believe the future price of the stock is. So again, they're showing last Friday's close at 149.47, and they're telling me that the analysts, of which there are currently 41 analyzing this stock, and that of those 41, 37 are a strong buy and 3 are a buy, giving us a strong recommendation on the stock. Now, the analysts say, of these analysts, the low price is $123. The average guessed price in the next year is $174, and the high is $230. Again, what I'm looking for in this element of my analysis is how low is it going to go, and so I will record the number of 123. Somebody believes it could go to 123, so I'm looking at the right buy, the price I might be able to buy in the future. So from there, this is all based on financial history and financial projections. Now I want to take it and look at the technical analysis. And to do that, I'll go to my trading views where I pay, let's see, trading views $240 a year, plus I pay $599 a year for trading views, and then I pay another $156 a year for all these add-ons. And what are these add-ons? These add-ons are artificial intelligence that goes and scrapes the internet and finds out where you have your buy orders, where you and Wall Street believes this stock might drop to. And as you can see, it's trading right now at $153, and there are buy orders in at $149.26. There are more buy orders in at $134.48, $126.11. We have a gap down here, and that would bring us down to, let's see, 107, and then we also have buy orders of 101. Okay, so I'm recording all these numbers, and I'm going to weigh them and then come up with my potential price. Now, the other thing I've done is I do what is called a Fibonacci retracement. That is another element of trading views that I subscribe to. And what I do is I put a tracing point at its low down here in January of 2023, and then I come to its high, which was on, it looks like December the 14th of 2023. And then the Fibonacci retracement says that historically, when a stock has a substantial run-up like that, it will retrace itself at a 50% discount all the way down to a 78.6 discount. So that is saying Amazon's price could come down to 117.27 or as much as 96.84. So I record all these numbers, and then I analyze them, and I come up with my anticipated price.
So, Nick, that's how I came up with $121.73. I have the 7 numbers. I weight the numbers based upon the importance that I put into each one of them, and that's my secret sauce that I don't share. That's something you'll need to work on your own, Nick. But that's how I come up with a price, and I do that for the 27 stocks that I am following right now in the Bus 12 and the Bus 13 portfolios. And what that is I've determined, or I've decided, that I want to be a specialist. I want to basically focus on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and quantum computing, and how the world is going to change, and how these 20 to 25 stocks are going to play into it, and who are going to be the major players. But most importantly, I believe there is going to be an event that is going to give me a discounted price, and that's what all this
this work is about. And that's what's on this sheet for each one of them, what I believe the price will be. I then track it on a daily basis of how close are we getting to the price and what events happen to make the prices change, and then I change it. Or I adjust it. That would be the better word. And that's how I put together the management of my portfolio. The other thing I do is then on the other end of it, I use the same data sources to determine what is the high price that these are going to achieve over the next 12 to 24 months, and what is my potential gain on each of these stocks. And based on that potential gain, how much do I want to have in each one of the stocks? Like one of my stocks, I believe I'm going to make 164% on it over the next year, whereas another one, I believe I'm only going to make 21%. Well, it makes sense that I want to load up a little heavier, as Charlie Munger says, double down or leverage up on those that are going to give you the major growth in the coming months, based on the analysis that you do, that you gather from artificial intelligence to help you make an informed investment decision. That's what I do. If you want to be a part of it, it's all about joining our team, our tribe, and getting on the bus. And one last thing I want to share with you. Did a video yesterday where I want to become your financial consultant, and I've put a ChatGPT element on the website where you can come and ask me any question, and I'll do my damnedest to give you the best answer. And I'll do it in a ChatGPT form, and I'll also reference any videos that I've done in the past that will give you a better explanation for the answer of your question. Talk to you again tomorrow, I'm sure.